This review is very late. It couldn't be helped. There were circumstances. But this is the angry anime fan, the despair reviewer, here to bring you Fairy Tale Final Series episode 33. Fairy Tale Final Series episode 33. A mix of both action and emotion, but at least better than last week's episode, which is actually pretty hard to believe. It was supposed last week was supposed to be a little bit more on the emotional department, but I didn't really stay to watch it all, and I really didn't feel like more. This episode here dealt a bit more with it. It starts with Erza managing to stop Natsu and Grey in their rampage fight for their confused feelings, which a lot of people got angry about, and I'm saying she is Erza. What are you so angry about? So she yells at them to remember who they were, who they grew up with, and everything else. But Natsu and Grey stops fighting once they see that she's crying, because both of them, once upon a time, actually in the same arc, mind you, both said that they would never wanted to see Erza cry, because that's not who she was. And when she cries, she shows vulnerability of the Russian. It's a showing during the Heaven's Wheel arc or whatever, Heaven's Area. Having calmed down and remembering Makarov's words to them about friends can always fight because that's how they get along, but never wield your fighting with hatred. With that, they calm down as Erza gives them a hug. Well, a little bit more of a embrace in her breasts, but that calms them down. As Juvia comes forward also with Wendy, Grey sees her before passing out, finally calming down his heart for good, as Natsu also calms down after seeing Lucy being alive as well. Just then, however, Irene appears and says that it's been a long time, Erza, intending on confronting her. On a different level, though, Sabertooth have fought off the Historia of Warekto and the Bloodman. But Crime Secor haven't have any luck defeating Augusto, who proves to be somehow able to use all the types of magic that the others are using. Well, maybe not Dragon Slayer magic, but the amount of abilities he can use is practically the same as they can. He is dominating them, and well, I guess he is not the strongest of them all. He's even putting up a little bit of a reason you suck speech to Jalal, as Jalal says that he must defeat Sereth because of the darkness he emits. And he says, well, so your light is justice and your dark is evil? How shallow. And then he suddenly begins to talk about the fact that the sorcerer emperor, the emperor had a son he could never show any affection to because of his curse. But the way he says it, it almost sounds like a different type of tune. Speaking of a son, we are switching to a scene where Yukino and her sister Sorano, aka Angel, are being confronted by Lacrado Dragneel, who now is fully introduced more. Brimming up like a light and almost like a saint, but he is full of negative emotions. Or should I say, no empathy at all, as he casts his weird-looking spell that, you're not the only one who thought when you saw that. It looked very similar to if they have an orgasm or maybe just enormous pleasure within their bodies. The way they make the sounds almost suggests that it's actually some kind of lust orgasm being released or whatever. Because it's worth noting that not everyone is affected by these, but though Mavis is affected by these, which goes with hand of the bellet, and so is Seraph, which goes in the hand of ability of him having a son. And also it's the fact that Gildarts is affecting, and as we all know, he is one who has been slipping around. The biggest surprise, though, is Minerva and Rouge, who seems to be affected. I mean, Minerva do look like a girl who may have gotten lucky every now and again, but Rouge, that was a surprise. But so Sorano as well, not Yukino though, but at least not until Lacrade cast his weird gray-looking, I don't want to say tentacles, but I think that's one of the things that people mostly thought about when they saw it up close with targets the pleasure inside the mind more of it all. But then suddenly Kagura appears, as Lacrade reveals to them that he is Seraph's son, as well as Natsu's nephew, so to speak. But things takes a turn for the worse as Kagura tries to fight Lacrade, and while it looks like she has one of the upper hand at the first, Lacrade still toys with her and uses the enormous pleasure because it appears that even she is vulnerable to it, and even stabs her down. It seems that he is truly powerful, as he reveals that Irene, Augusto, and him are special occasions in the Spring and 12. He is the only one, and he even mentions that he may even be the only one who can defeat Acnologia, because of Acnologia's ability to also feel pleasure. Therefore, he can affect that. And also, when he cast his pleasure, it affected his allies too, but he only stopped when Seraphs telepathically told him to stop. During that time, though, Lucy and someone else managed to take away Grey and Juvia away from Irene, while Erza, who do not know who Irene is, or at least that's what she says, confronts her, together with Wendy, who says she will fight. After all, Wendy looks up to her like a big sister. And now it's truly things, though. Many different battles on the things. As the episode ends, Augustus says that the king's son never could feel any knew what love is about. But if there was one who could stop him, maybe it was his mother. However, it's worth noting that when he says that, he doesn't say Lacrade. When Lacrade, he only says the king's son. Almost sounds like he's implying that he doesn't consider Lacrade as son of the emperor, or maybe he considers. He doesn't even say Lacrade, the emperor, as Sereth Sama. So he seems to be hiding a lot of things. That man, especially the way he copied everyone's powers. Well, copy is the wrong word, but when he used them, it appeared he almost used the others' abilities like that, like he practically copied them. Either way, this episode was a little bit better than last episodes. Some nice action scenes, some high ends there, and Lacrade's fully introduction. Also, by the way, he's voiced by Kensho Ono, and here I have to see why now. His introduction didn't really tell it all, but if he says he is the son of Seraph, who was what Akira Ishida, it's worth noting that Kensho Ono's voice here actually sounds a lot like Akira Ishida. I guess he's classified as another new generation of Akira Ishidas. But we'll see, won't we? But I'm getting interested what's next. Next episode promises that we may see one other guy entering the scene. Give me your thoughts.